Hello and welcome back to another DLC episode of the Extremely Casual Gamers podcast with Ali, Chris and Guy. This is a casual gaming podcast for the everyday gamer, and on Mondays we do a DLC episode, a mini episode, and it might be dedicated listener contributions, it could be a guest, and today it's a listener contribution, Guy.
Another DM on the Instagram, Extremely Casual Gamers podcast, this one coming in from Matt. He wants to know, because obviously there are video games and then those games some games get turned into movies and there are some movies that get turned into video games, vice versa. He wants to know which IP, which game nailed it on both ends. Mm-hmm. So the movie was good and the game was a banger because it's quite difficult to actually get them both because usually if the game's a banger and they say there's a movie coming out, it doesn't quite nail it. So the one I'm thinking of that did do very well was Lord of the Rings: The Return of the King.
Oh yeah.
One of the best trilogy in the world movie-wise, and that was a really good game, especially for the time that it came out.
Yeah, PS2. And this that touches on an interesting thing that doesn't happen in the world of gaming anymore, which is a cool movie comes out, so they make a game out of it.
Yeah, it doesn't happen.
They don't like go, oh, okay, we've got the the PlayStation 2 era. It was like, okay, the latest Harry Potter movie's out. Let's go make that latest Harry Potter game.
Yeah. True.
You know, they don't do that stuff anymore.
Kind of the other way around now, eh? Like a game will come out and they're like, oh, we're going to make this into a series or it's a movie. And
I imagine it's because video games in the PlayStation 2 era, as great as they were at the time, they were probably relatively basic because games are so much more advanced now. To make a movie of that justifies it is so expensive. You know, like an example from like the PlayStation 2 era was the movie with Hugh Jackman, Van Helsing, right? Very, very easy to watch action, but they also
I haven't seen it.
It was like Van Helsing movie came out, and then not too long after
a game comes out.
King Kong, early 2000s.
Classic Peter
Jackson that came out. Then they released a game as well.
Yeah, and so that kind of I think the last one of those I think was Mad Max, that first remake.
Yeah,
when the Tom Hardy one, right? That came out, and then they made a Mad Max sequel to that, and then I think there's been two. I can't remember, but Fury Road came out, and then they made just a random Mad Max movie video game. Apparently, it was really cool, open world. This is probably only like 7 or 8 years ago, and that's kind of the last one of those sort of movie franchisey based video games I can remember. Like, I think did they make an Avatar game?
Yes, recently.
Recently, maybe
it came out. It was okay. Some people loved it, but I wouldn't say it was a win.
But the only reason they made that is because Avatar is such a powerhouse franchise that they were hoping Avatar fans would just go to it, but by all accounts it was okay. So it's an interesting one. The only one I think that's done very well is Last of Us the game and Last of Us the first season.
True.
That's the only one who both of those things are excellent.
Yes.
That I can think of right now.
So I put it up on the ECG for ECG Facebook page. Rachel Bennett says, basically any game that was from a Disney movie from the late 90s, early 2000s. So Tarzan, Lion King, Emperor's New Groove, they smashed it. Hercules as well.
Hercules ruled. I remember hiring a PlayStation at the Novotel in Ellerslie. My parents, the Ellerslie Novotel on the right by the roundabout there in Ellerslie. The Green Lane turnoff here in Auckland. There's a Novotel right there.
Yeah,
I vividly remember us staying there one night. My brother and I hiring a PlayStation 1 from reception while my parents went out to dinner or something.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, fun!
And we got the Tarzan PS1 game. It's such a good game.
Yeah.
Cool.
Far out, that game rules. And the Lion King.
Jared says Warcraft. So World of Warcraft, they obviously been doing games for years, but they did do a movie.
Wasn't it shit though?
Look, it was action. It was, fine.
That's not what you want though.
No, it's not a banger.
When you're playing Warcraft, which is one of the all-time great video games, you want the movie to kick ass.
Totally.
And that,
Paulda says Toy Story 3 was such a banger of a game, was so fun to play, the story and sandbox modes.
I didn't know that they even had a game, and I would have probably actually really enjoyed that. I love Toy Story.
Scott says Mortal Kombat, particularly the original movie and its iconic soundtrack. So Mortal Kombat, movie-wise, they've done a few, because Mortal Kombat's been going around for a long time, and I know they did a Mortal Kombat movie in the 90s. They did a movie in the last so many years.
Did they?
Yeah, they did do a movie, and there's another one coming out this year.
Oh wow!
With Carl Urban as Johnny Cage.
Far out.
Iron Lung is mentioned a couple of times in this thread, and I've never heard of movie or game called Iron Lung.
The Iron Lung, isn't that Isn't that like there's a joke about, if you get put in the iron lung.
Yeah, it was like a huge machine that then
If you had polio or something, you got put
Iron
in
Lung
the
was
iron lung.
amazing, and the game itself, while not for everybody, is still a good, solid indie title. Never even heard of it. John Fleetwood says, always thought the Angelina Jolie Tomb Raider movies were perfect, but it's like they didn't really sort of go. I don't think at the time that when those movies came out, there was a recent release of a Tomb Raider game, right? But I guess.
Oh, I think Tomb Raider's been. Like it's been a consistent every couple of few years, throughout the PlayStation's life. But I would also say those movies aren't very good.
I mean, I thought for the time they were fine. They were fun. They weren't like groundbreaking. They weren't like rich storylines. But it was,
Isn't it Angelina Jolie? And I'm all for this.
Yeah,
Angelina Jolie kicking to some ass, riding a motorbike on top of the Great Wall of China.
dope. Gerard Butler next to her.
I'm like, cool, but that reeks of like early 2000s.
Hard out.
You know what I mean?
Early 2000s, like Mission Impossible. Like those sort of style movies.
Yeah.
And one that I saw on the weekend was the second Mario movie. So Mario, obviously, been going around for 40 years now.
Yeah.
The two movies are great.
The two recent ones, famously, the Super Mario Brothers movie from the late 80s is credited as being the all-time worst video game adaptation.
Yes, it is.
Because
that was live action. Like it was like
it was a live action.
It wasn't animated.
Oh.
Yeah, and it was real. And if you watch there's a documentary, you can probably watch the movie, but there's a documentary on it on YouTube, and it just looks so terrible.
Yeah, it looks awful.
Yeah,
yeah. So, but I'm just they slam dunks, like proper, like nailed it both times. It's not as common as yet. Sonic. So obviously Sonic. Sonic the Hedgehog. A beloved game that's been going for years now, and the three movies that come out, even though I haven't seen them, so I can't give them credit, but apparently they're really good.
They're great.
Yeah.
Well, there you go. I personally, like Fallout comes to mind.
Yeah,
but Fallout 4, in my opinion, wasn't. It was probably one of the weaker of the Fallout. It's the most recent and the best looking, I guess you'd say, but it's one of the weaker in terms of role playing games.
Yeah.
And then the TV show Fallout is great, but nowhere near as good, I don't think, as Last of Us. But Fallout's a pretty good offering.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
I just think by far and away it's Last of Us.
Yeah.
From game to TV adaptation.
There's been some absolute failures. Assassin's Creed had a movie with
Michael Fassbender.
That was apparently pretty shitty. Mortal Kombat wasn't great. What was another example I just thought of off the top of my head and now I can't remember?
I bet there's is there a Far Cry movie? Oh, Max, what's the one?
Max Payne.
Max Payne?
Yeah, with Mark Wahlberg. Great game.
Terrible. Uncharted. When they used Tom
Holland.
Holland.
Yeah, Mark Wahlberg is Scully.
Sully. Rather than using the guy
Nathan
Fillion, who looks just like Nathan Drake.
Yeah, but he was too old.
But that Nathan Drake is old.
Yeah, but I think they're going for longevity.
Yeah, well,
which is ironic because I don't think it's going to happen again.
It's not. They chose a very young, which is a shame because I love the Uncharted games as well.
Halo TV series,
terrible TV show.
Absolutely dog shit.
Yeah.
So,
and for you too, you're such a passionate Halo fan.
Yeah, I was gutted.
Like that does suck.
That does suck. They just need to release it as an animated series.
Yeah.
Just do that.
Yeah.
Use the original voice, and then you don't have to pay these ridiculous actors, and just obviously pay the voice actors and the animators. But yeah.
One that I really hope happens is, I don't know if it will. Maybe this is past now, but if they took a Kingdom Come Deliverance style game and put it in the Game of Thrones universe, which, if you're not into Game of Thrones, all good, but it's beyond Lord of the Rings, really, with the amount of lore and the amount of places to go and the open world and stuff. A game, I just saw Ellie yawning.
Sorry.
No, fair enough, because it's just me banging on about Game of Thrones and lore. No. That was just out of the corner of my eye, just like,
Lord, no.
Here he goes. But I think that would be something I'd be interested in.
Oh, The Witcher, great games.
First season was pretty good.
Yeah.
And then dog shit after that.
It's a shame.
So it's interesting that there hasn't been has there been a Game of Thrones game?
I think so, yeah. But they've been pretty average and kind of just gone straight away, no one cares.
Yeah. I've been quite silent for the last 7 minutes because I once I heard there was a Toy Story 3 game, I was like, how did I not know about this?
Hyperfixating on
Literally,
that.
I'm like, what is it? Like, how can I get it? And then I found a Reddit thread. So obviously came out on Xbox and PS2, I think, and PS3. And then someone in the PSP subreddit just bought the Toy Story 3 game on PS5 to relive some of my childhood nostalgia. And why is it the PSP version? I played the console version on my old Xbox 360. Why the F was the worst version brought to next-gen consoles? And then a whole lot of comments are like, that is really funny. I'm sorry this happened to you, but I'm laughing my ass off. I would be just as upset. So apparently you can play it, but it's the PSP version, so it's really shit. So I'm gutted. Just wanted to share that with you.
How? Yeah, because now
In case you were wondering.
there goes your weekend plans.
Exactly. When will I ever game again? You know?
My God, The Warriors.
Oh, was it?
So The Warriors was originally a movie from the 70s, which is pretty shit.
Oh, I
or
didn't
maybe
know
the
that.
80s. But
Iconic for the time. Though.
iconic for the time, but then the game was so much better.
Both
There you
both were garbage.
Both were.
But it's like guys all time.
If there is a game or a movie that we have not mentioned that is glaringly obvious, let us know.
Please let us know.
should be a Red Dead Redemption movie.
Oh, I'd love that.
I'd
Oh,
watch
yeah,
the hell
that'd
out of
be
that.
quite cool.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it needs to be a series.
Yeah, a mini-series. Actually, I'm all for flag movies, mini-series.
Totally.
10 episodes, hour-long episodes. Very
Love it.
keen,
Yes.
very keen.
Love it. Hey, thanks for listening to the DLC. And just a reminder that this week's episode coming out will be 24 hours later on Friday.
Yeah,
Yes.
Fridays now, release day.
We will see you then.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye.